Hi from New Zealand. I am happy to see ya. Actually, I'm happy to see me because I can't see you. But I thought I would talk about something that I thought was hilarious this week. I was texting with a friend, one of my safe people, and we were talking about the things that we're doing in our life right now, and we're both about to turn 40 this year. And I was giggling to myself because I was not supposed to be texting where I was texting because I was in the middle of church. But I said to her, I think it's hilarious that I'm actually putting myself on the internet and I love what I'm doing because I was petrified, paralyzed of mean people in my life. Paralyzed. You guys didn't move from my bed for 3 days in college because someone didn't like me. You can ask my college roommate Stacy that. It was awful because a girl was mad at me and said mean things to me. And I was in university and I couldn't move. I mean, I was petrified. So much so that I actually changed the way that I thought and changed who I was. And it's funny because my husband and I have talked about this because he's not wired at all like me. And he was saying this weekend, how can you live your life like that? Like, how could you have done that? I'm like, it was easy. I just did what I thought everybody wanted to hear, see, or be. And then I did that, and then nobody would be mean to me. Do you know how well that worked? Not so well. Again, this is kind of a theme in my life. All these coping mechanisms I did not stop the mean things happening to me. And all these things I thought were going to work didn't work. So I changed who I was. I was afraid of people being mean. If I stepped out and said anything that I actually believed and thought was real, and they were mad, I would then cry a lot. I came back to New Zealand 7 years ago in October. Someone said some really mean things and some really untrue things about me, and probably some true things as well. I didn't sleep for 2 nights. 48 hours, you guys. I was awake. I was a mess. I couldn't stop crying. And it wasn't even right. And it wasn't even true. And I knew it wasn't right. And I knew it wasn't true. But I just kept rereading emails from a couple of people over and over that pretty much said, I don't like you. I don't want you to move to New Zealand. Go away. New Zealand has 4 million people. Who cares if 2 people didn't like me and didn't want me there? I did. Irony of all ironies. You guys, what do I do now as a hobby for a living, whatever you want to call it, the thing I'm doing right now with you, building this tribe? I put myself on the internet. Who lives on the internet? All the mean people. How funny is that? So if you think you can't do something, you can. If I can put myself in the epicenter of the meanest people in the world, you can do what you have to do. Because I think that's hilarious. That the thing I do and the thing I'm getting a lot of feedback from and people really wanting to hear more of my message, one, comes from all of my failures and all my hot messness. Hot messness? I made that word up. But I'm also doing the very thing I was so terrified of. So maybe in the thing we're terrified of might be a little clue of what we might do one day, what we might be, when we might have that moment that we go, wow, I was created to do this. And if nothing else, I hope you can look at me and go, she's living her biggest fear right now and she's actually having fun. Because do you know what? It wasn't fun changing who I was. It wasn't fun literally not knowing what I thought about things because I just did what everybody else wanted. I was outspoken and I was loud, but they weren't my ideas. I literally can remember sitting in meetings not knowing how to formulate what I thought. It was never fun. It was never fun having people be mean to me. Even though I did put all these things in place to protect myself, it never worked. Yet here I am now, which I think is the irony and the humor of the God of the universe to say, you can do it. Your biggest fear is people being mean. So I will put you in the place that has the most mean people. Not in a tiny little seminar room, not in a church, not on a speaking circuit. I will put you in the center of all of the mean people to show people that if she can do it, you can do it. Because if I can do it, you can do it. Because remember, not functioning, didn't breathe because people didn't like me, Cried, cried, cried. I cried the first 3 months I was in New Zealand, nonstop, every day, at least twice a day, because of the things that people said about me that weren't even true. And look, now I put myself in the epicenter of mean people. So if I can do it, you can do it. So this week I want you to think, so I'm going to leave you with. I just want you to think about that fear. It might be irrational. It might be absolutely rational. But I want you to think about what's that thing that you're so afraid of. And maybe it's going to identify something in your future. I'm not saying it's going to give you the next step, but I just want you to take a second just to pay attention to the moment, because it might be more holy and more right and more perfect than you even know. Okay, bye from New Zealand.